Guys, I don't believe this reading. 22 ohms. This is supposed to be just a straight shot wire. So if that's a problem, we could fix this no parts required. So we just measured from here to here 22 ohms. Wow. Well, what's in between? We have splice S176 and C146. Now, since we know that there's a problem here just with an ohm meter, I'm not going to connect the test lights yet because we don't need to. If there's a resistance, then, you know, let's say there's a little green crusty or something. If you run current through there, that might temporarily fix the problem. So if we have a bad resistance reading, there is no need to load test the wire. Let's find the problem while it's happening. I'm going right after C146 now, and then we can measure this way and this way with the ohm meter and see if there's an issue. So this is kind of exciting. Alright, so here's the ohm meter, and right behind here is connector C146. So I'm going to focus you guys in on the meter. Look, it's 27 ohms. Let's get this out of the way. Let me just do a little wiggle check before we get too far. Look at that. Holy crap, we found our problem. I am just touching this wiring harness right here, and look what's happening to our resistance. We're up to 37. No wonder this is a problem. So .43. It's almost an open circuit. It's basically an open circuit. Okay, so let's unplug that connector and see what the heck is going on. Keep watching that. Now we're in the kilo ohms range. What the heck? Okay, I'm unplugging it. Look at that. 0 ohms. Plug it back in. Open circuit. Start unplugging it. 0, 0, 0, 0, and unplug all the way, open circuit. Okay, we are basically done with this car. What the flowchart couldn't figure out, what the dealer couldn't figure out, we figured out in about 15 minutes. Now, I'm going to unplug it. Okay, it's unplugged. Do we see any green crusties? Do we see any stuff? So our wire is going to be the purple and brown on pin 34. That has to be it right there. So middle row, middle pin. Let me do a quick visual inspection here, and also on the other side of the connector, and see what the heck is going on. Okay, so I have both sides of the connector right here where we can do our checks. So this side, this is the the female pins that goes to the engine, to the alternator. The other side right here, male pins, that comes from the engine computer. So C146, I suspect there's a problem here. Now, which pin are we worried about? Pin 34, and that would be, you can see the purple and brown wire. It's the 7th pin over in the middle row. So in the middle row, we'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this one right here. So I'm using a needle probe because the pins are tiny and I don't want to spread them. Let's compare the drag of the pins. Look, this is a nice drag. I can feel it. That's a neighboring pin. Pin 34, What? That's it. That is the whole problem with this vehicle. Loose female pin 34 on connector C146. That is the communication wire going to the alternator. That is insane. Crazy, crazy stuff from the factory. I mean, no one was here. No one touched it when this problem occurred. This is a factory defect. So, this is proof. Let's take off this plastic connector, tighten up that pin so it passes my drag check, reconnect it, and make sure we have 0 ohms on that circuit, the check we did initially, and then we're done with this Lincoln. That would be fantastic. Alright, let's take this connector apart. So first thing I did was take off this handle. It's on kind of a pivot. Now we want to remove this lock piece. I want to remove it all the way. So here we go. Again, a pick is your friend for this. Keep in mind the orientation. Pin 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the spread pin right there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you can see it does not hold my needle probe at all. It just falls out, while the neighboring pin holds it nice and tight. So I'm going to try to see what the heck is going on with this pin. If we can extract it, that would be great. If not, then I'll just tighten it up in the connector. Should be able to extract it here. So let me do that off camera just so I can concentrate, and we should have this car back on the road in no time. Alright, after a bit of effort, I got the offending pin out, and as you can see, 0 spring tension. How is that possible? Is the spring piece broken in there? I mean, it's a tiny pin. What if I go from the back side here? Oh, it goes straight through. Looks like there's a broken spring piece. How do we fix this? Would be nice if we could solder on a new pin. I had these types of pins in stock, but they're very, very specialized. We could contact Ford, see if they sell these pins separately. We could just squeeze the whole damn thing together. That'll do it. But I'll think of a good way to fix this up. Alright, this is going to be really hard to see. So I kind of unfolded the pin, then used my needle probe to get to that little spring part and just push it in, and now awesome spring tension. So that's it. Let's close this sucker up. These are extremely delicate pins. Let's make sure our tension is still good. It is. You don't want to use pliers on these. I mean, they're making it out of tinfoil basically. Yep. So let me reinsert that into its home. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right in here. I don't know how the weather pack stays in there. That's where it wants to go. Gotta put it back in the connector. Alright, pin is reinstalled, connector is reassembled. Let's take a look at the ohm meter as I plug in the male into the female side. This is a little slightly awkward here, but let's manage. Alright, here we go. .6, and I'm sliding it all the way in and clipped in. No issues at all. Let me wiggle that pin. We're back in business, people. Simply beautiful. Look at that. We're done. So let me tell the customer the good news, and then the question will be, what is the dealer going to do about it? I mean, I guess it was under warranty so far, but they should definitely cover my diagnostic charges. No parts required, that's a bonus. And the owner's wife will be extremely happy that her Lincoln is going to be problem-free, at least for the near future. So, appreciate everyone watching. That was actually a lot quicker and easier than I was ready for it to be. So, but sometimes you get lucky, but the game plan took me quite a few hours just to make this game plan. So this diagram is everything, and judging by the codes that we had in the history, the problem had to be here or the alternator itself. And indeed, right there, pin 34 was just, the spring was messed up. It was not holding that for some reason. Factory defect. So 22 ohms down to 0.04 ohms or something. Amazing. Alright, little bonus footage. Let's finalize the car. Battery is reconnected. Rescanned it for codes. We're going to clear all the codes out. Awesome. And that's it. We can take it for a test drive. I mean, it's an EcoBoost, so it probably doesn't drive that. It's probably not too fun, but looking good. So I am confident returning this car back to the customer with the good news, and that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Alright, let's call the customer, tell them the good news.
Hello.
Hey Carl, it's Ivan calling.
How you doing?
Good. Are you ready for some good news?
Yeah.
It's fixed.
It's fixed.
Yep, guaranteed.
Wow. All right. What was it?
The game plan worked flawlessly. So I've never seen this before. It was a factory defect at a bulk connector between the harness that comes from the engine computer and the harness that goes to the alternator.
Oh wow.
There was a pin, the female side of the pin didn't have any spring tension.
Oh wow.
So
That's wild.
yeah, at the first resistance check I did, it was, you know, it's supposed to be a continuous wire. It was showing over 20 ohms, and I just touched that connector and went up to like 1,000 ohms. So it was basically open circuit.
Oh wow.
So
they kept on replacing those shutter things.
Exactly. I don't know how they came to that conclusion. It must be, you know, they're basically robots that follow that flow chart, which is useless.
Yeah. And then they actually got, I guess there's a regional technician.
Uh-huh.
And they kept coming up with the same thing.
Wow.
Replaced twice. I said, no, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. It had nothing to do with the grill shutter at all. It didn't even set a code for that.
Wow.
You know?
But what that did, though, because I was working with Lincoln Motor Company on a buyback.
Right.
And they one more, just take it up one more time. Just have them look at it one more time.
Uh-huh.
And I fell for it, and I did. And then a couple of weeks ago, it came up again.
Uh-huh.
So I called Lincoln Motor Company. I said, it happened again. We're all set for the buyback.
Yep.
She said, what state are you in? I said, in Maryland. I'll get back to you. She got back to me the next day. The limit law in Maryland is 3 years, and you're 3 years, 5 weeks.
Wow.
Sorry.
So they were running out the clock on you, huh?
That's exactly what they did. Looking back at it, that's what they did to me.
Uh-huh.
It's a 4-year warranty. I'm thinking it had to do with the warranty. I'm well within the warranty.
Exactly. Right.
And it was crazy.
Yeah.
And I would have just dumped the car.
Uh-huh.
My wife loves the car. It's the right size for her and everything.
Well,
and,
I think when you tell her the good news, she'll be very, very happy, won't she?
You're not kidding. Oh, my God. Wow.
Yeah. So this problem came from the factory, right? You bought the car brand new.
When we looked at it, it had 4 miles on it. When we signed the papers, because we took it out for a spin, it had 9 miles on it.
Wow.
Brand new.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because there's no moonroof or anything. She wanted the nav, no moonroof.
Uh-huh.
The back seat on it actually slides back and forth 6 inches, so there's plenty of leg room in the back.
Okay.
And she sits higher. She used to have an Avalon. It was too low.
Uh-huh.
She wanted it. And I said, well, go get a Lexus.
Uh-huh.
I don't like the colors.
Oh, it's all about the colors, I know.
I'm addicted to your YouTube. And I said to her, I got to give it a try. I just got to give it a try. If you come up with something fine, if not, that would have been fine too. But
yeah.
terrific news.
I'm extremely pleased that the problem was right there, you know. So.
Now, would that have caused that battery gone dead? In the garage one day and the next day it was stone cold, or could that have been a module that did?
Well, that's hard to say. I mean, the alternator wakes up when that line is activated, and so I really can't say. If it happened once, you know, the batteries that they put in at the factory are sometimes pretty junky, just to get you off the lot, you know. I've seen that before.
Wow.
Yeah, but...
Terrific. All right, so the way our schedule goes, it'll probably be not until Friday to pick it up.
Yeah, and anytime works for you, just give me a heads up, and I'll send you the full summary, and hopefully you can give that to the dealer and at least get reimbursed for that, for my fees.
Yeah, I doubt that's going to happen. I'll try it, but I doubt it's going to happen.
Well, I'll at least talk to them and tell them that they suck.
Alrighty.
Okay, Carl. Sounds great.
All right.
And I'll talk to you soon. Absolutely.
Take care,
My
Ivan.
pleasure. Yep. Take care. Bye-bye. I think customer's pretty happy about that. So, that's it. We'll, if anything else happens, we'll do a follow-up, but the car's fixed, and hopefully you'll have a lot of problem-free miles ahead of it. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.